Hello everybody, I wanted to make a video on this new technique that I discovered. It is possible someone else has known about this, but I haven't seen any videos or anyone talk about it. It involves swapping to a third dagger in order to animation cancel the recovery frames on a backstab. I also want to talk about incorporating dual swords into melee fights, like a lot more often, especially to get through block. So I have a few clips showcasing both of these things, and I will have a guide / explanation at the end of the video on how to do the dagger swapping. I will have timestamps below if you just want to skip and see the explanation. Other than that, I'll probably just be commenting on the rest of these clips here. For example, this clip, I see his pity trigger, and I kind of wait for my teammate to finish him, so just because we like to share the kills. And here, I didn't have a great angle for the backstab, so I wait for my teammate to do it first, and then I just chase down for the finish. And this Death Knight uses the one-time activation aura, so typically I just like to let it run out. Here I was just very slow on actually pulling out the third dagger. This will be a good showcase of it. A lot of times fights with cryomancers can drag on quite a bit because they like to use their ice cube after you backstab, but with the double backstab he barely had any time to react whatsoever. I also try it here on this Pyro, but he was very good at pushing me away very fast. Shout out this rogue who's using Petrify, he's a legend. And I barely see this guy, but I see him at the last second, and it's very important to knock the rogue out of invisibility before they apply poison and get their damage reduction. And I see him start blocking, and rogues can be very annoying to deal with while they're blocking, so the dual swords charge attack takes care of it very fast. Not a whole lot to say about this, honestly I just felt bad afterwards. In this fight, I'm waiting for my teammate to backstab first because I know he'll turn around so I can get a backstab in. And then I pull out the dual swords because I assume the swordmaster will raise his shield to block, but he ends up dying from poison, so I just use the charge attack on this Death Knight here. And then here, yet again, trying my best to share the kills with my teammate here, so I'm trying to not get too much in the way. And he's just going to town with the dual swords. Try to get a flank here, but this guy's tangling chain rats me out. So I missed the follow-up backstab after the dagger swap, but I do get to start my dagger combo earlier, and I do get to at least poke him a little bit. That's just a wonderful showcase of the backstab tracking. 2 plate characters can be a tough matchup for rogues because they are a lot harder to burst down with how much health they have. But the mistake I make here is I thought the other one was a fighter, so I felt comfortable using quick plates early on, and they triggered my pity of death because of it. I'm a huge pity of death enjoyer, completely saved my life. And then it looks like they ran into some pyros here. I get out of this room just to regroup, but once pyros set up in this room, there's not a whole lot you can do. Once they have high ground up there, there's just no way to really push. So we end up kind of getting into a stalemate and having to extract because neither team wanted to push. And then right there, the second he blocks that dagger poke, I switch to the dual swords for the charged attack to get through his shield. And then just get a little bit of damage in and share the kill, of course. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. Looks like I have some explaining to do. I'm just going to get straight into it to not waste anybody's time. So, for the dagger swapping, normally when you backstab, you have this very long recovery animation where you are not allowed to attack, can't use any abilities, you can't block, and obviously you can't initiate another backstab. Funny enough, equipping another dagger, or even unequipping your dagger, will let you cancel this recovery animation, letting you do another attack, another backstab, anything you want to do. So in those clips, I would just lead with the backstab, immediately open my inventory, go down, right click this dagger, exit the inventory, and initiate another backstab. Could look something like this. And you can do these infinitely if you want to practice. It does take some getting used to, but if you do learn it, it's very satisfying and rewarding when it works and it pays off. And it's also very strong. The other thing I really like about this is there's really no downside unless you like get stuck in your inventory or something. Because even if they turn around in time, it just means instead of waiting this entire duration to get a dagger combo in, it's going to be an immediate dagger combo right afterwards. And dagger combos are already quick, so it's a lot more damage in a lot shorter period of time. As for the second thing I want to go over, it's just using dual swords more, especially when somebody blocks. Most people, if they have a shield or an orb, they're going to block after you backstab. So queuing up your weapon swap after your backstab and immediately going into a charge attack has been incredibly helpful. So it should look something like that. Or even when you're daggering somebody, they pull up a shield and block. The second that your dagger bounces off of them, you should just be swapping to the swords for a charge attack. Most of the time, it happens so quick, people don't usually react to it. Once in a while, you'll get somebody who's very good and they'll parry that charge attack. But most of the time, it's a very good way to get through block, and I would highly recommend practicing that as well if you are not going to be running crossbow. But that's about all I wanted to cover. If you have any questions or if you're struggling with either of these things, just let me know. I can help you out the best I can. But that should be about it for kind of explaining. The other thing I want to talk about is kind of the state of the channel and where to go from here. I originally started this channel just wanting to showcase that Rogue can still be strong without just abusing crossbows, and I just felt there wasn't enough rogues out there using melee to the full extent. And then it kind of turned more into a guide heavy orientated stuff. The live commentary was fun, but I'm pretty much just asking you guys what you want to see. I'm kind of torn between just having good gameplay with live commentary or like post voiceovers where I kind of break down the fights and my decision making, or if you want more montage style stuff with less talking. But comment below on what you want, just so I can have an idea of what I should make next. That is about all for this video. Bye.